Would you believe me if I told you I took an anime class in college? I bet you'd be even more surprised by how my experience in that class went. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because this is going to be a very interesting video. What is up, YouTube? Today I wanted to bring you guys my experience taking an anime class in college. So this was at an art college, class of 2020, so right before COVID hit. Well, actually it was when COVID hit, which is why there was no graduation, sadly. But I had this class anyway before COVID hit, and it was interesting to say the least. Definitely not what I was expecting it to be. Just to give you guys a little context, this class had just been announced to the program, so I was one of the first to get accepted into the class, and also part of the first group of students that the course was given to. Another neat little bit of information is that our principal, the head of all our courses and the leader for academic distribution to all the students, fought tooth and nail to not have this course be available ever, because he believed that, quote unquote, anime was not a form of art. I'm sure you can already imagine the memes that were made of this guy shortly afterwards. Imagine being in charge of an art school and not knowing what anime is. Man, this is what I'm talking about. People like this get me frustrated because it's bad enough we have the haters that don't even watch anime, but when you deny anime of what it solely is first and foremost, it's like saying this group of people shouldn't exist because they aren't human. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, I was pretty excited going into this because, I mean, hey, it's not every day you get to take an anime class in art college, especially since I was there to study film. I was happy to be able to branch out and still take other classes such as this one, and to not only be one of the first to take the class, but the fact that the course even became available in the time I was at that college. It all felt like it was meant to be. So how was the class? Well, there were some good parts. The teacher was amazing. I loved him. He was such a chill dude. He really loved the art form. He even brought an animator straight from Japan to our class. And it was a crazy experience talking with an actual animator of anime. Some of the things we talked about, I mean, we learned so much from the professor in the beginning. That was really the best part. He taught us about not just anime, but many different art forms the Japanese had developed. Yankoma, Nihonga, Kibyoushi, which are like these picture books that were produced in the Edo era. That's another thing, the eras in Japan: Edo, Meiji, Taisho, Showa, Heisei. He went deep into Japanese culture, and that's what I found absolutely fascinating. However, that was only for about half the course. The rest was a seminar where we, the students, were expected to teach him a topic we selected and had to spend weeks making a presentation on. And that's where things get a little dicey. See, the problem is, a lot of the people in that class were very sensitive, I guess is the word. Most of the presentations were pretty lazy, half-assed. No one really actually said anything. They took an easy route and said, hey, I'm gonna present about this anime. And the teacher was so chill, he was like, yeah, sure, that's okay. But I wanted to actually have engagement and talk about something interesting, so of course I chose to talk about anime live action, you know, the thing everyone says shouldn't exist. I think I gave a pretty kick-ass presentation, and for the most part people gave input and questions about the film side of things, and you know, why there's this disconnect across the forms of art, etc. And then you have those people that are kind of dumb and just want to challenge you. They'll say like Hollywood adaptations are racist based on rumors, yada yada, and I can choose to argue with them, but at the end of the day, I gave my presentation and that's that. Of course, there's always going to be non-believers. That's what makes me a pioneer. One of the only ones to really be out here talking about this and doing this, dedicating my knowledge to making good anime live action. But my presentation wasn't really the issue. It was a few other people's presentations that really made the room very uncomfortable. Basically, this one girl gave a presentation on Hetalia, and it was extremely awkward seeing this poor girl get torn apart for liking this anime, because apparently it has a lot of improper, you know, cultural appropriation, and the dialogue, the conversation that unfolded between her and the rest of the class got very ugly and ended in her crying, feeling exiled for liking this show. The same thing happened with someone who presented about Kill la Kill and why it's actually a magical girl show. She didn't cry, but it was yet again the conversation and debate about something that wasn't even in the presentation, the hatred and issues of Kill la Kill that were sparked from the classroom, and having to watch it all unfold despite me liking the anime. It was bizarre. It felt like being in a class where everyone hates anime, but the class is in fact about anime and the study of it. I think it was just all a result from the kind of people that were in the class. Most of them were very vocal, and the ones that weren't were too lazy to put in any effort in the class. At times it felt like a lot of girls just screaming at each other. So that's the main reason why my experience with the class wasn't as profound as I imagined it would be. I guess I should have expected nothing less, because over the years I've certainly learned discussing anime can get very toxic. It can get extremely toxic if the other person has an immature mindset. But other than that, I'd say the class was pretty solid. One of the coolest things was that at the start of every class, the teacher would put on some anime for a good 20 minutes or so. So that gave us essentially 20 extra minutes to show up if we were running late, which was absolutely necessary because it was a morning class and you know my ass wasn't waking up for shit. But yeah, if there wasn't anything else to do, we would just chill and watch anime until it was time to leave, or he'd just let us leave early. And yeah, that was about the extent of the course. All in all, I'm glad I took the course because I realized how passionate I am about anime live action. I could talk about anime live action all day. I will never run out of things to say. There's so much to talk about, and being so familiar and knowledgeable in both anime and film just makes me that much more expressive about it. That's one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel, and why I'm going to continue to keep making videos focused on the subject. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts and the latest news about anime live action, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all the live action anime content that I'm going to be bringing you. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.